Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here, and welcome back to my F1 2017 Career Mode Season 3 Part 9 here for the Austrian Grand Prix. And we kick things off with Chris coming to us and informing us that we have a brand new engine part fitted to our car. Now, of course, this was the powertrain element that was expected to arrive for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. However, unfortunately, it actually failed, so we had to spend extra resource points, and it's come along here for the Austrian Grand Prix, which has set us back a bit, but that's exactly what, Formula 1 is about. Things sometimes fail in development, and they take longer to arrive. But anyway then, we're coming here for the Austrian Grand Prix, and straight off the bat, I was feeling a little bit off with this circuit. I just wasn't quite getting into the flow of it. I wasn't really coping that well. I was having to drive really hard to try and get the max out of this Red Bull car. But if you guys haven't seen the last episode of my F1 2017 Career Mode, I did actually have to go ahead and live stream just the race, as there was a problem with me not being able to get the video recorded and uploaded. So if you guys haven't seen that, it's up on my channel now, so you can go and watch it. It was originally taken down after it went live, due to FOM deciding to be complete at plum sacks. But luckily, I managed to get the video back up live, so if you haven't watched it yet because you thought it was still unavailable to watch, it is available, so if you haven't seen it, feel free to go check it out. It is on my channel, and by the time this video goes live, there should be a playlist on my channel of this career mode, all of Season 3, and there'll also be a playlist of all my F1 2017 challenges that I have done. But anyway then, we're moving things swiftly onwards, and as you can see, we have 888 resource points, which is getting us closer to that major, or ultimate, should we say, that's not major, yeah, I'd say major powertrain upgrade, which is going to really boost the Red Bull's top-end speed, which is something I'm looking towards. And then as soon as that's done, I can let that do its own development, and I can start making some work then on the chassis and the aerodynamics. Moving on then into qualifying then, and we're into short quali here, as we come around the last corner now here. We actually take that curb a little bit wide. We've lost the back end here. Back end's coming on us onto the grass and into the wall. Straight away in qualifying, we've made a horrible mistake, and we've gone straight into the wall on our very first lap. That is horrible. And having a look at the replay then, so we come into the last corner, or second to last corner. That's fine. It's the last corner where it goes wrong. Taking a bit of curb, going wide, the back end slides just there, halfway through the corner, and it sends us into the wall as we're on the grass. We are going to rewind this and have a look again from another perspective. So if we reverse it backwards, coming through here, you can see we get a snap of oversteer on the exit, and then onto the grass. We've got no control on the grass, and we've gone slamming straight into the wall at the very start of qualifying, and that is our qualifying over with. We're going to be starting last for the Austrian Grand Prix, and after we scored no points in Azerbaijan due to contact with Kimi Raikkonen, which sent us into the wall and having to force us into changing our front wing, we are now in a very big predicament, whereby now we're going to be starting at the back of the grid, and we've got it all to do once again here in Austria, and I'm very disappointed with that. And unfortunately, I kept the power down in that area on the grass, because when you're in that scenario, if you start lifting off or if you start applying the brakes, you are going to lock the brakes and you're going to skid even more on the grass. So I had to keep it flat out, but I just couldn't control it, unfortunately. And that is it. And as we're starting from the back of the grid, I'm going to be taking a brand new power unit for this Austrian Grand Prix, as I might as well, and I do need to take extra power units throughout the entirety of the season. I can't keep with the 4 power units, I won't make it. So I'm going to be taking a 5th power unit here, and that is going to help us out massively. But having a look at the grid then, it is an all Mercedes-Benz front row with an all Ferrari second row with my teammate Daniel Ricciardo doing an impressive job to qualify 5th. And here at Red Bull's home circuit as well, I forgot to mention that this is not what they wanted to see. Their star man, should we say. I know I'm being a bit generous to myself, but hey, why would I depress myself? You can see that, I'm the championship leader, and I've been performing so well. So to come here and to put in a qualifying performance like that, it's not good enough. But into the race strategy then, we're going to be starting on a set of super soft tyres, and then we're going to be moving on to a set of ultra soft tyres to get to the end of the race. Now, I decided to do this strategy, mainly because I felt like it would just help me out in the better scenario. So onto the formation lap then. This is where I like to clown around, so I'm just going to do a couple of donuts for the fans. There you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And now we're onto the grid here to start the Austrian Grand Prix. We've got 5, red lights here, starting last on the grid, and it is lights out go here for the start of the Austrian Grand Prix. Bit of wheel spin on the start, but the secondary phase when we release the second clutch, that's where we got the better start. And now in towards turn 1, Kvyat blocking my way as Kvyat and Palmer, who aren't even in the sport anymore, do continue to battle as we make the run up the hill now, up into 16th place, remember, as we get a good start, out-dragging Lance Stroll in the centre with Kvyat. We're going to pull to the inside line here, we're going to brake slightly earlier, and then we just apply a little bit more throttle to get it past as many more cars. A little bit of contact there with one of the Haas drivers, I think, but we're up into the points playing positions already, so a cracking start from us early on. And now we need to start focusing and getting a move done as we go down the inside here of Nico Hülkenberg. Lovely overtake that is. And we just shove him out wide there. And Grosjean capitalizing massively on Hülkenberg and goes down the inside of the Renault driver just before then. And already we're now up to the back of my teammate Ricciardo, who's had a poor start. And I believe that it's both the Force Indias that might have jumped Ricciardo straight off the bat. So that is not good to start things off. We now continue onwards here to come towards the end of the first lap. We're coming into the second to last corner now, and that is all great for us here. Into the final corner now. We've taken a bit too much curb. We've hit the yellow curb. We've gone back end sliding again, nearly going into the wall just like we did in qualifying, but this time we held it here. So that last corner causing me a lot of problems. Grosjean in front now in towards turn 1. We're not going to get past Grosjean here, trying to switch back line. Didn't work for us, unfortunately. Just didn't get the traction, and I didn't quite get the balance that I needed there. Into the slipstream of Romain Grosjean. We're going to go to the outside line for this hairpin. We're going to go very close. We're going to give Grosjean a tight line. In towards the hairpin we go now. Can we get past Romain Grosjean? Grosjean completely goes into the side of us here. Just doesn't decide to turn for a corner. It reminds me of Rosberg in 2016. But this time we managed to get in front of Romain. And this time we're back up into P8 in this Grand Prix. Onto lap 3 of the Grand Prix now. Once again, just having to go wide on that last corner. It's not working for us at the moment. And we've got a yellow flag. And Bottas is out of the Austrian Grand Prix. So a massive casualty there. One of the Mercedes cars out of this race, and that promotes us up into 7th place now. But unfortunately, it's still not quite going well for me as we come on to lap 7 out of the Grand Prix, and that's Esteban Ocon who's out of the race. So more drivers in front of us faltering, but unfortunately I just couldn't get away from Grosjean at this stage in the race. And on lap 7, after Ocon's DNF, we got a virtual safety car, and that VSC actually carried on to the end of the lap. And I'm going to capitalize on that, and I'm going to pit under the VSC. This is very early to make my pit stop from my super soft to ultra soft tires, but at the end of the day, the tire wear is very, very minimal here. So I've decided that even though the VSC is ending, I'm going to take a lot of time out of drivers from this. Now the drivers have started to get back underway again, but I've already made my first entry into the pits under the VSC. And this is going to be a very similar scenario to Lewis Hamilton in Spain this year in the 2017 Spanish Grand Prix. He came into the pits under the virtual safety car, and as soon as he got released off his jacks after his tyres went on, that's when he came in. And as you can see, behind Pascal Wehrlein is Daniel Ricciardo. So we've actually jumped Ricciardo in the pits. Now remember, he came in very early for his first pit stop, but he was in front of us crucially. And now we're coming up to the back of Stoffel Van Dorn here in the McLaren. This was a big train that we had to catch up to that actually got in front of us after the pit stop, and the leaders are now in the pits, and you can see I'm in rich mixture. Look at the deficit that McLaren and Honda have to deal with. We go down the inside, we've lost the back end a little bit there, and this time launching ourselves over the curb, running wide yet again in that second to last corner, but nothing for it, and we carry on our way. But a little bit worrying stuff there as we now catch up towards Fernando Alonso here in towards turn 1. We're going to do some trademark Red Bull overtaking, dive it down the inside of Fernando Alonso, and we get that one stuck, and that's Sebastian Vettel right there. So Vettel, who was a good 7-8 seconds up the road, is just in front of us now in this Grand Prix, and now we can start fighting the Ferrari driver, and we're going to do it down the inside into turn 2. Lovely overtake. Vettel's still there on the outside, going to give him some room, putting onto the curb, and as you can see, we have forced our way through Sebastian Vettel, and that pit stop under the virtual safety car has massively helped us out in this Grand Prix. And Magnussen is next on our hit list, and who God knows what Magnussen's going to do. He'll probably crash us out, but it's fine. We'll probably have to try and find a way around him now as we come towards this middle sector. You can see the car just not planted to the corners that I just wanted to. Magnussen now is starting to hold us up quite heavily. Magnussen, just get out my way, please. That would be very, very nice. Vettel all over the back of me now. Stroll looks like he's going to come into the pits. He is coming into the pits. Magnussen's going to stay out here, but Magnussen's going to get held up by Stroll, and that's going to force me to put on the brakes even harder, and I'm just going to lunge it down the inside. I'm fed up of being behind Magnussen for any longer, and now he can have fun holding up Vettel, and that's going to give me a little bit of breathing space now to carry on my way, and that breathing space is exactly what I needed. On to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton comes across the line and wins the Austrian Grand Prix Him and Kimi Raikkonen absolutely dominated the Grand Prix today. However, for us though, it is a stunning performance. After starting last in this Austrian Grand Prix, after crashing out in qualifying, we have managed to perfect a virtual safety car strategy, running wide again into the last corner to clinch the final podium spot today. And do you know what? I will take that. I am very, very happy with that performance today. We had a lot of fun out there, a lot of battling, a lot of overtaking, some very, very key strategical moments. And today, we definitely also had a little bit of luck on our side, obviously, as well. But as you can see then, Lewis Hamilton wins today's Austrian Grand Prix. And Kimi Raikkonen finishes in second. And myself in third. So overall then, I would probably say that Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen actually dominated the Austrian Grand Prix today. They were so much faster in the race. I believe they finished about 20 seconds clear of myself. Definitely lacking in straight line speed. The car was it was an absolute nightmare to handle, and you could see that, you know, in the race I was struggling to get the car planted into the corners. I did end up increasing the downforce during practice, still didn't make a difference, but the virtual safety car paid dividends, and we used that to advantage with some quick thinking. And I was checking to see if the virtual safety car was still out, and it was still out as soon as I was coming towards the pits. So I took the gamble, I came into the pits, I managed to hold off Vettel, and I managed to keep the gap neutral between myself and Vettel. But the only thing that was worrying really for me in that Grand Prix was the fact that when we tried to hold off Vettel, he was on the super softs and I was on the ultras, but you know, I had lower straight line speed. But anyway, in the Drivers' Championship, the gap between myself and Lewis Hamilton has now cut down to 25 points after he takes yet more points out of us in the Championship. And the gap at the top of the standings is closing between me and Ferrari with the two teams. So we've got some work to do then. Ferrari and Red Bull, the Constructors is closing. And the Drivers' Championship, it is closing. We've had two bad races for Red Bull because Ricciardo didn't score any points, I don't believe, today. Two bad races for Red Bull. We now need to step it up as we head towards my home race, the British Grand Prix. So guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, feel free to drop it a like if you are enjoying the content that you watch. And if you are enjoying the content, feel free to click the subscribe button as well. It would mean a lot and it really helps out the channel. And also don't forget to click the bell to get instant notifications when I do upload a video, so you can try and be first comment, first notification squad, early squad, whatever you want to be. But until then guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the main purpose of these videos. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care all, and I'll see you next time. Take care all. Peace.